Hi everyone, it's Kev's Magpie YouTube channel. Welcome back to another video on my channel. And today's video will be previewing our round 2 clash against the Western Bulldogs, as will be known as Footscray, for the 100-year anniversary celebration. If you are attending Kev's Magpies, welcome, like, comment, share. If you're new to the channel, watch it for the first time, like, comment, share and subscribe. Now, the last time we beat the Western Bulldogs at the MCG, now I will like to say this before I get into it, was round 4 2019. It's interesting now because we won by 14 points that game, and Jordan Goey had 19 disposals and a goal in that particular clash. But this is a big game for the Western Bulldogs, and the reason why it is because they are playing for everything, right? They are playing for everything that they need to do. 7:40 MCG, Western Bulldogs home game. As I said, it's a 100-year anniversary celebration for their birthday, and they're changing the name to Footscray for that one particular round. Now, what we need to do here is we need to bring the noise. Now, we are going to make money for the Western Bulldogs because we will turn up and we will get the results going our way. So if we can get 60,000, 70,000 fans, it goes a long way for the Western Bulldogs to get this game as it is. Now, while they'll be playing for pride for the jumper, we need to really make out that this is a great opportunity to knock them off. And the reason why I say that is because we can't afford to let this game slip going into the bye 1 and 2. We need to go into this game 2-1 and then go into a bye. Now, while we are at it, we know our pressure was elite and they're a much handballing team, right? We know they're going to handball a fair bit. We know they're going to try and attack. What we don't want is them to get the overlap handball. What we need to do is that we need to slow the Western Bulldogs down, and we need to put them under a lot of pressure. So therefore, it makes it harder for them to score. If they get on the run, if they kick the first goal of the game, we need to respond. But one thing I will say is that we need to come out with intensity in that first 5-10 minutes on coming out and really making a statement on this game. And what I mean by that is that their defence may not have enough to overcome our forward line. And what we really need to do is that we need to make sure that Membry, McStay and Marchek all fire up for Collingwood as well. Now, Will Hoskinelli and Jordan Goey will be back in. So you assume Ned Long and also Luke Sullivan will be out for him. The reason why I say that is because you got Goey coming. He'll play, well, we all know he's going to play midfield. And then we'll see what he can do. So he's a burst player, right? He can have his 25 disposals a game and can kick a couple of goals. This is what he's built for, the MCG. So we need to make sure that we come into this game and making a statement early on and really getting that scoreboard pressure on as much as we possibly can. Now, before I go into the top 5 as well, we are 30 subs away from 550. So if you guys can share this to your family and friends that are Collingwood fans, that would be appreciated and help me get to 550 subs, and then we'll go up to 600 as well because we are on the journey. But now let's do my top 5 for this week. Number 5, I think, is backing up our performance. Now, what I mean by that, I don't want us to be flaky off one particular game. I want us to continue that edge on, okay, let's back this performance up. Let's back our pressure. Let's tackle harder. Let's get the momentum going our way. If we can do that, we go into the bye feeling good about ourselves and knowing that the fact is that we're rest up, ready to go for a clash against Carlton. While we are at is that we need to make sure that we play good football all around. So that's what we're at. So if we can back up our pressure, if we can back up our performance, we may not need to win by 91 points, but what I want is to be in that mark of, okay, if it's a 40 or 50 point win, you know that you can back it up. You know that, right, we've got them where we want them. Putting teams to the sword, we can certainly do that. We've done it against Port Adelaide to a tease. We've done it against Melbourne. And also the fact is that we do have this week to really go all guns blazing, go, wow, like Collingwood are back. So if we can have Houston, Josh Dacos playing their role, I think that's one way of doing that particular matchup really well. Number 4 is our defence. Now, I think, for example, I know Price already mentioned it. We need to have... He mentioned the fact that we need Darcy Moore defending really well. And we need to have Houston, Josh Dacos, or Quainer, Chris Maynard back there really helping and supporting, including Howe. But having said that too, we need to make sure that we become more of a team that we can get our running game going. So if Darcy Moore can take intercept marks and spoils like he did last week and do it again this week, it will be a lot more better for us and we can direct our run and carry game, right? We're very good at using the corridor. We're very good off halfback. With the scores of halfback is remarkably well. So if we can get our hands on the footy and then set up our run that way, it's going to be hard on what the opposition are going to try and do. Because if you see Houston, you see Perriman, if you see Josh Dacos, right, you can tag Josh Dacos, right? But you got Houston will come up, you got Perriman come up. And if Houston's a bit down, you got Perriman, you got Chris, you got Maynard, Josh Dacos, Quainer. These sorts of plays are going to do the damage for us. The same thing with Nick Dacos too, right? If he gets tagged, you know De Goey's going to step up. You know the fact is that he will always step up. You know that Sybon's going to step up. You know Pendles is going to step up. Perriman's going to step up when he plays in that midfield role. So it's basically the way that you want to play. You don't want to see, him down for too long, but you want other players to step up and really go, shit, we're on about Dacos, but now look at these guys, they're getting on top of us. What are we meant to do? So you're going to make the opposition panic a little bit more. So the defensively, like it's an 80-man defence. We need to get back and help our defence. When we attack, got the ball in their forward line, we got to defend well and keep that ball in our forward line and get the repeat entries and then lower our eyes when we go forward. That's where we're going to be at our best. So if we can do that, it'll go a long way for us to really win the game. Number 3 is our midfield. Now, I think our midfield really needs to get on top of the rest of the books, right? This should be a win. There's no Trelaw, no Bontempelli. And I said this even when they were out, right? You rely on Tom Liberatore. But the only thing is, there's no Jack McRae in there that can get his 30 disposals. He's now at St Kilda. Bailey Smith is now gone. So the players that they've got out and no longer there or with injury, it actually will affect them. And it's not like you can plan for 3 forwards like who's going to get what. If you got 2 forwards, you can have Darcy Moore, Jeremy Howe in that manner, and Reef as a third play in defence as well. That's the only difference. So we really need to make sure that we really get into the game really well. So our midfield needs to get on top. Our pressure really needs to get on top. But this is what we need to do. Our midfield, we know they've got no one. Once they've got no one in there that's going to be damaging, they've got kids in there, right? So the younger kids, eventually what's going to happen is that you run into an experienced side like Collingwood, they're not used to playing in that particular role. That's why I always talk about the midfield. It's so crucial to how you want to structure up as well. So I talk about our defence. I talk about, our midfield as well, and it's all fun and games in that, and keeping that momentum going. Number 2, this is where I'm going to say this, game plan and tactics. I think tactically, we need to stop Liberatore. I think we need to stop him from getting his usual impact. And what we need to do is that we need to get off to a good start. We need to run the Western Bulldogs off their legs, make them chase harder, and then when we get the footy inside 50, they don't know what to do because they're inexperienced. There's no Liam Jones. Who's going to stop Membry? Who's going to stop McStay? Who's going to stop Checkers as well? Our 4-line is going to be so dangerous because you don't know who to stop. If the ball is slow and kicked long and high, of course it's going to be easy. But when you get in there quick, or when you lower your eyes when you go forward, or you have a couple players that are going for the same ball, and you pretend that you're going to mark it, but you have McStay taking that mark, and you got Membry behind him, protecting his back a little bit and pretending to go for that mark. It's going to be hard for opposition. So that's why tactically we need to start doing that. And tag Liberatore, like I said, there's no Trelaw, so their midfield aren't going to hurt us offensively as well. And this is a good test. This is a good chance to get the Western Bulldogs. Game plan, we need to slow them down so they can't play quickly and they can't get their handballing game going. If we can do that, and we know they're going to get momentum, but if we can just keep that momentum going and keep that foot on the throat, so if we're 30 points in front, 40 points in front, let's not stop. Let's just keep that momentum going and really look forward to trying to build something here as well. That's the only way that we're ever going to get it. So if we can do that, it goes a long way for us to really win the game of football. And that's the reason why I'm so confident. So what do I do? Number 1 is, obviously, to me, is what do we do if Nick Dacos gets tagged? I would help him out. You see him getting tagged, get the umpire's intentions when he's getting held on to. The umpire see him getting held early, they're going to have to pay that free kick. And therefore it sends a message, oh shit, we can't do that because they're strict on that. Let's get a bit of a bump. Let's get a bit of a block for Nick Dacos. Let him run the opposition to the ground. Let's push him to our back. Let's push him up in the forward line. So we really need to make sure that we put Nick Dacos in a position that we can really attack the game for ourselves. And no doubt Goey's going to step up. If Goey steps up and gets his usual damaging disposals, what Louis Beveridge is going to do? And this is why we need to make sure that we put this game away early on and that we don't let the Bulldogs come back, because we want to go into this into next week, having a week off, having a bye, and go, right, this is where we're at. This is the consistency that we must get from now on. Once we get to that lead, we need to put that lead on more than 5 goals. Don't let the opposition get back into the game as well. That's why it's so important to really win this game of football. Now, last time these two sides met was at Marvel Stadium round 12, 2024, and we lost by 18 points. And this is a lot different Collingwood outfit than it was back then as well. So there's a fair bit change. Perriman, Membry, McStay's actually playing, so that makes it a lot easier. And then you also got Houston as well. And so if we can do that, it does go a long way for us to win the game. Tips and prediction. Collingwood by 29 points. Nick Dacos 30 disposals plus 6 marks and a goal. And I'm going to say Jordan DeGarby 27 disposals, 6 marks and 2 goals as well. Now, message to the Collingwood Football Club. Let's spoil Western Bulldogs' 100-year celebration. Let's not let the fucking Bulldogs get into this game at all. Let's just shut them down from the start. Let's shut their fans up. And Collingwood Army, let's get that Collingwood chant going. Let's get it throughout the whole stadium to lift the boys up. It works every single time when we do it. The more we do it, the better it gets for us as well. So this is why we need to make a statement on the Western Bulldogs. Let's spoil their birthday party. Let's go out there and let's win. Let's win against these dogs. Going 2 wins, 1 loss. Hope you guys liked the video. Don't forget to drop a like. Also drop a sub. Bye for now. Love yous very much.